So today we're going to work through external lock-up materials for eaves, porches, balconies. Balconies are the same as porches. If there's any external claddings, infills, and we'll start with that. So you all got the details page. So actually, I'll go to D8 first. So we're looking at the D8 plan. Now, looking at the first floor plan, we need to obviously calculate for the eaves. We need the eave sheets, dividers, and merch, and some quad as well. So there is a detail on that D8 plan. If you scroll right, I think it's the very last page. There's a detail of the eaves, like the timber that's required for the dropper. So it's just calculating. This detail is probably a little bit wrong, whereas it's actually showing. Let me get a pen. This actually, we run that through. The sheet runs through. And there's no foam there, but we're getting the details amended. So, and there's no quad there because the eve sheet runs all the way through to the frame. So it's still the same way that we work it out, still the same. So we calculate go back to the first floor. So we work out how many linear meters of eaves we have. I'm just going to do this quick. So there's 57 linear meters of eaves to go around the first floor. But as you said last time, Di, yes, we are doubling the corners up. So realistically, to work out, once we know our length of eave, we divide it by 2.4, so that's how long the eave sheets are. That'll give you a quantity of 24.01. So we'd order 25 sheets for first floor eaves, and they need to be at 600 mil, 24 by 600, because we want to get the measure. So we want the sheet to go from the outside to the frame, all the way back to the frame. So the eaves are 450 eaves, but it's a 450 eave is 600 mil to the frame. So we're adding, because the sheet runs to the frame, that's why we now finished that foam to the bottom of the eave. So with our length of, what was it I say? Times it by 2.4, that's easy. So 56.64 linear meters of eave, divide that by 2.4 equals 24 point, so it equals 24.01, and that's sheets. So we'd round that up to be 25.24 by 600 mil Eve sheets. Now, once you've put the linear meters of eaves into the takeoff, there is it'll tell you how many lengths of merch you need to order, but it's a simple equation. So you just go, the length of eave is 56.64 times by 2. So 56.64 times 2 equals 113.28. Then you divide that 113.28 divided by 5.4. That you'd round that up to be 21 lengths of merch at 5.4.
It can be done easier than that. Divided by 2.7, you don't have to multiply by 2.
Always worked. The way the takeoffs worked is it formulates that.
I know that.
So
I'm smarter than the takeoff.
So, but yeah, that measurement will give you on the front page of the takeoff as well. I don't want to start flicking between everything. That's all. And then the dividers for eaves what we have is the joiner between the two sheets. So every 2.4, we'll have like a joiner which joins the two sheets.
You want to show the item you've done?
Yeah.
I just need to open done, that's all. Is that going to work? Yeah. We might go to the masters. So what we're talking about there is these dividers, divisional white. That's what's joining the two sheets together. So we have a strip. So they come in 2.4 meter lengths, which they just get cut down to be the 600 length of the eave sheet. So you'll get realistically 4 out of every one. And obviously between every sheet, if we've got 25 sheets, we'd realistically need 26 because you need to join each end of the sheet. So if you went 26 times 0.6, it gives you 15.6 linear meters. Then divided by 2.4, you need 6.5. So you'd round it up to be 7. You'd need to order 7 of the dividers for the sheets. So it's the same. So that's just the dividers. That's the merch for the eaves. So like first floor eaves, you just put in your lengths of your eaves at 5.4. This one still has merch in here, which is 11, which we only realistically need the quad only above windows. So we'd only realistically probably need either 3 or 4 lengths. So all the masters need to be updated for that, which needs to be done, and the detail. So until the detail's amended, I'm still happy to, if you order it, that's fine, because we need to get all the details amended to show the new way of doing it. So more than likely that supervisors don't call up the quad. So, but, and then you'll see the master is got 600 mil sheets. That's to get back to the frame. And this job is the D1.1. So we've got 22 sheets, 7 dividers. All that first 2 items, you merge, you got 19 lengths, and you've got, well, that's wrong, but that's fine still at the moment. 11 legs of quad. So that's that's your first floor. So that's 6 costs on a double story. That's obviously 6 cost center 624, and then 625 is your lower floor. So on the one that we're looking at, which is the D8.1, we just need to then, we'd order this same material on this one will be for the porch sheet, and if there's any cement sheet infills, which there is to the rear of the meals and the theatre and the rear garage. So then for lower, we're going to need to work out, actually that's where that page 224 of the details. So if you look at that detail, that's the detail for the porch, which shows you how the porch will be set up. So we need to obviously pack and line the inside of the porch beam, showing there's a cement sheet there, cement sheet at the top with the quad all the way around it on the porch. We'd also need materials for the droppers to frame out, to pack it all level. And the material for the front, for the actual capping and so forth, that'll be done by the framer though, not external lockup. So by looking at that detail in the porch, you need to then look at, this is where it's tricky. I'll go back to that actually. Okay. Roll out, just go back to this one. So to work out, we need to obviously line the inside of the porch beams, which is going to be running, we need to line, oh, come on, along there, and along there. So you'd work out your length just by adding your measurements on your plans. So you got 1.39 plus 3.27 plus 0.31. So we've got 4.97 linear meters that we need to line. So we divide that again by 2.4 because the sheets are 2.4 long. So we need to order 2.1 sheets. Now you can probably just round it up to be 2.5 because we're still going to have other items that we need to order sheets for. We also need to order the porch ceiling. So we're going to try and then break the ceiling into areas realistically. So the way I will work is you try and work so that the sheets lined up with that porch. Actually, overall porch is 1980, so 1800, forget that. Right, we're going to use 900 mil. If you're looking at the length of the porch is 4.69. So we need 2 sheets at 2.4, and then I'd order 900 sheets. So I'd be probably ordering 4 sheets. That'd be all the same size, 2.4 by 900. 2.4 by 900. 2.4 by 900. You probably get away with an 800, 18, maybe an 1800 by 900 for that corner. So you'd also order 5 or 6 lengths of merch to pack out the porch ceiling, which this is a standard plan. So the master bill that you copy in will already have these in there. So when the new job gets copied in, if it's a standard facade, which is a S3 facade, then that should already all be worked out already. You shouldn't have to change anything. So only when you change the facade, then you need to start amending what we need to order. So with that as well, you need to work out the lineal meters of the porch, which, because we're going to have to put quad all the way around it as well. So, and then if we just went 1.98 plus 4.69 times 2, so there's 13.34 lineal meters. Divide that by 5.4. You'd order 3 at 5.4 for quad. So that's just the porch. Yep. So, yeah, as Ari just said, it's actually not called quad in the data build. It's called Meranti killed, dried, 19 by 19 finger jointed, which is the item I've got highlighted. So that's when I'm say quad, obviously that's what I'm talking about. All right, so we've worked out what we need to order for the porch. Then we'd be looking at infills, cement sheet infills to the rest of the plan. So same. Yep. So obviously on a double story, anything that is under the porch so the door, this window, they'll have brick infills above on the porch. If you're looking at same thing, if you go back to that detail on page 224, see how you see it's got brick above the door? That's what we're talking about, underneath the porch. So if there's a window under the porch or a door, they're all going to have brick above to the facade. So for them ones, we need to order a brick lintel, which we'll talk about that or not, because it's different cost center.
Probably don't need to.
Yeah, so, all right. But, all right, so that's just for, we'd need to order a brick lintel if we had windows and so forth underneath the porch. Where it gets a little different. So, and then I'll go scroll to the elevations. The other front windows, as they're under the cantilever. Is that on there? If you go on the plans, go to page 21. So I'll just follow it. So I'm just looking at this section right there on the detail. We're looking at so sorry, go to page 21. So if you're looking at now, we're looking just at this lower section here. So that's the window, and that's how the foam will return back above the window. So for underneath the cantilever, which is that's what this is section is, because it's cantilevering out past the wall. We don't need to allow any infills or brick above because the foam returns above the windows. So on a double story, that's fine, but when we don't have it underneath the cantilever, so the elevations. So as you can see, this part's underneath there. This there underneath the cantilever, so there's nothing, but once we get to this one, we've got a cement sheet infill that we need to order and pay the external lock-up carpenter to install and order the materials for. It's the same there as well, above the door. So just thinking take off. This isn't done. Hey. No, but I'm just saying there was no windows taken out of it. So on the takeoff sheet, when we're in this part, when we're talking here going so when we say cement sheet infill no, and then when you got down here it's saying Y for yes, see how it puts the measurement of 6.61 for the ensuite window. So this is how we get the lineal meters of infills when we're doing the takeoff. So it'll tell you the quantity of the infills Right, on the right hand side, there's my mouse. Everyone can see it says 15.61 window infills linear meter. That's the cement sheet infills, which is working at these sections on the plans. So to work out how many eave sheets you need, or infill sheets, we order you'd order just one sheet of 2.4 by 600 mil for a 1450 window, but because the sheets go 2427, you'd have to order a 2.7 because we don't want to have a join in the sheet when you've got a 2.41 door, which is obviously over the 2.4 length of the sheet. But this is where you'd still got, because the infill to the rear of the garage, would use the offcut of the 2.4 sheet that we ordered for this window. So there's an offcut. You wouldn't need to order another sheet for the rear garage, as everything else is underneath the cantilever. Actually, sorry, I lied. That window there at the rear of the mirrors. So you're going to have to actually order 2 sheets of 2.4. So they'll be 2.4 by 600. This one here would be a 2.7 by 900. So that times 2 would do 1, 2, and 3. And you'd order one just for that.
Why would that be 900?
They don't come in 600s anymore. All right, so the only other thing we would be ordering would be some more merch to pack out the foam across the front here and across the front of the garage. And then there'd be some on the sides of the porch as well. Which it's the same, if you're looking at the detail, there's just the 90 by 30 foot battens at 450 centers. That's pretty much what we're talking about when we're ordering merch for the packing out of the foam, which is also batten out front porch ceiling, first floor overhang garage, infills for doors. So that's probably the other thing I didn't mention. It's the same with when the dividers, again, that we ordered for the first floor, how we worked out how many we needed for the first floor, the 2.4 lengths. So we need to do that the same on the porch as well. So to join the sheets on the porch, we need to order then the joiners as well. So we'd have another joiner going probably order another 3 for the porch to join the sheets. You don't need it at the front because that will be hidden. It's just where sheets join to sheets. Alright, that's the double. Anyone got any questions on that?
I'm good. No question now.
Okay, cool. All right, so then we'll go to the Yoki plan. Now, this one, I think it's on about page, what is it? So there's the detail for the porch. On page 5. So this one's, it's a bit, there's obviously that's all the details. There's all different details for, like, for example, that first page of 224, for example, that's showing a head height for the door at 2.11. If you go to page 225, which is the next one, that actually shows the head height of the door at 2.4. So you'll notice that there's then no brick lintel above the door. So we've got, these are all the new details that will be coming out, showing all the ways of construction. So these will be the Bible. Once they get released, they should be on the plan once DNAs get drawn. So that's what we will be doing all the masters to.
And now they're going back to saying 19mm quad on
That's why they're wrong. Yeah, they're getting marked up as we speak. So, right. So as the facade has eaves and obviously cement sheet ceiling to the porch, we need to work out, same again, we need to work out our eaves, we need to work out the cement sheet lining for the porch. Is it detail shot? It's the cement sheet underneath. Yeah.
Yes.
No, there's so on that one.
Oh, on this one? I don't think it actually says. That's hard to see because it's not printed.
No, that's the way it is on the plan.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Alright.
I'd say it is. Because it's cement sheet
It's
underneath.
higher. Slightly higher. So it's the same principle as before. For eaves, we need to work out the lineal meters and then work out the sheets that we need to do for there'll be different size eave sheets on this. So when we've got the orange there, they equal 24 by 450 eave sheets. The blue ones, they're 24 by 600 mil eave sheets. And on the porch, they're 24 by 750 eave sheet. So once, if you've just got the ability to scale it up, then you can actually just use, if you print the plans to size, you can scale, got a scale ruler, you can just draw every 2.4, because obviously the sheet's coming 2.4 lengths. You can draw every 2.4 to work out how the sheets will end up. We need to order, same again, line the inside of the porch beams. But as per the detail that was on page, what page is that?
This one? 21.
Nah, 5.
Oh, 5, sorry, yeah, 20, yeah, 5.
Yep. Yeah. So actually, if you go to page 5 on the details,
Last page of the Yoki.
the reason why we are actually ordering 750mm sheets, yeah, it's just scroll. So the reason I'm ordering 750mm sheets for the porch is we need to get the porch back to the inside of the beam. So that sheet needs to run all the way back to here, which we've got to this point here. That's a 600mm eave sheet. So to get to the inside of the beam, that's why you need to order a larger sheet. That makes you need to order a 750mm sheet. So that's the reason I'm ordering onto the porch the 750 eave sheets.
Is that in the VOQs now?
It
750.
will be if you've got a half height pier.
Okay, because they
It'll only be applicable to UE.
yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause there's- oh, okay.
So,
Yeah.
So single 8 homes.
nah, different
It'll
facade.
just be, yeah, the singles on an 8 homes will have a brick pier.
Yeah, because I was just thinking, like,
Standard.
I've always been ordering 600s
Yeah.
and porch. I'm like,
Which is right.
Yeah. So, but yeah,
If
this
you, have,
is
if you have a look at this, look at the elevation on this, you've got half height brick pier, so you've actually got exposed posts
yeah,
going up, which is, yeah, that's why you need the extra width.
so that's the reason why I'm ordering a 750mm eave sheet to the porch. That's to get it all the way back to the back of the beam, realistically. So. And then obviously the blue one's a 600 because that's got rendered foam above the thingo, rendered foam above the brick. No, yeah, it doesn't. Rendered foam above the garage door. So that one's the same, is going back to the frame. They fix a beam to, the detail on there, is it? Sorry, detail. It was on. Okay, that one, isn't it? Not with an Eve, it's not. No. All right, I'll go back to explain. So above the garage here and above this window, obviously the eave sheet needs to go back further. So that's why they're a 600mm eave sheet too. Because to get above the window, you need to cut, the sheet needs to come back to sit above the window, and the same above the garage door. You want to get it back to the beam. So the eave, when we say is a 450 eave, 450 eave is from the outside of brickwork to the outside of the eave. That's 450. But to get it back to this point, that's why it's a 600 to get it back to the frame. So over the windows, you need to get it back to the frame to make it a 600mm eave sheet here. And it's the same above the garage
I've
door.
always ordered 450 over the garage. And even the details show that.
The old details.
I'm talking, there's new details coming.
Okay, but the ones we've had is 450.
Yeah, they'll be ordering, getting 2 extra 6, because it's so much easier. All they do is fix one timber to the frame, the beam, and fix the eave sheet to it. That's all they do. Instead of placing droppers and all that, they'll fix one timber to the beam and just fix the eave sheet to it. Right. So that's eaves. We need to obviously still line the porch again. So I divide the porch up again. And I'd be ordering so I'd be ordering 3 sheets. Equals 1800 by 900 to finish off the porch. Now, this being a UE house, we don't have cement sheet infills above the doors. They're all brickwork, so we don't need to order anything for the infills above the doors because they're all brickwork.
What determines whether if there's a step up type of thing by the porch? You know how we clad the inside of the beams?
Yep, usually the front door height.
So if say now it's a 2340, but the ceiling height of the house is a 2740, what happens if
You could run it through.
So it will go.
Yep.
Okay.
So
if
it's usually only 2.5.
So if it's 259 to below and we've got a 2340 door, we'll have that.
It'll step up. Yep.
Okay.
That's just mainly the details as well, because you just need, that's where they need to make sure they've got the right detail for the right one, because you can technically step up on a 2.7 if you really wanted to, but it just looks cleaner to run it straight through. So. Anything else we need to discuss? Cladding. You got a job that you bring up, what cladding? See, set up different story again. Actually, one of the ones I did, what checks did I just give you? The first one I did. 779. What was the first one I did? The first one had cladding because I said I'd already use sheet.
That's not Sky. Is that what you said?
Probably.
Like it's everywhere, right?
All right, so I'm just got another job. I haven't got plans for this one, but this is one of.
Jose, yeah. High margin.
Whereas this one here has linear cladding. I'm not in the right tool. I'll draw that one. So what was it, one? That's right. So just to work out the linear boards on this facade, now they're in data build, the linear boards state they are 180 mil high, okay? But they overlap each other by 30 mil. So realistically, there's only 150 mil cover for the boards. So to work out how many board high you need, it's usually the height of the window. So for example, that'll be 2057 divided by 0.15. So 2.057 divided by 0.15 because the boards overlap by 30 mil, and it comes up with 13.71. So you'd round that up. It needs to be, you need to order 14 boards for the height. So if you worked out, you need to obviously work out the linear meters of the boards, how many linear meters you need. So as you can see, it returns to the front porch. So it's around the front and around the side. So if we worked, so if you look at that, the measurement of 1.1, is that this step where the meter box is. So we need 1.1 linear meters there, and then obviously the measurement for the front to that window is 910. So 1.1 plus 0.91. So there's 2 linear meters for one board, the length of a board. The boards are 4.2 meters long. So you'll get two runs out of every, so 2 boards all the way around from the front door to the bed to the window out of every 1 board of 4.2. So if we needed 14 boards high, means we need to order 7 boards to do all the boards. So because we'll get 2 out of every 1 board that we order. So I think I checked one of the jobs the other day that was, I think there was 6 ordered, which if you're using the full length of the board was fine, but you can't, we don't want to join boards at all. So we always want to cut them as full lengths. So we always just work out how many boards we can get out of 1 length, not using the full length of the board of 4.2 meters. So by this one, because it's 2.01, times that by 2, you got 4.02. We'd have an offcut of 180 mil from each board that we wouldn't use because we're not going to join multiple boards on one little run like that. It's better off to order an extra board. So I'd order 7 boards for that, pay the frame, work out the linear meters. So it's the same 1.1 plus 0.9. 1.1 plus 0.9 times it by the height of the window. So there'd be 4.12 meters squared of board that we pay the framer to do. That was just something extra because we've got a little bit of time.
This is no trims.
Yeah.
I think that might be a separate training session
It's probably smart, yeah.
because there's
Go
a
on.
lot more in, not just the cement sheet, the lining for the board.
Yeah.
So on the porches and balconies. So I think we might run a different separate one for balconies.
Have a dedicated balcony training session, go over tiles, pedestals.
But for a balcony, for example, on a balcony in a way is just another porch.
With the linear, should you go over the ISP that goes at the
On
end?
the corner trip, but it's in the recipe.
Yeah, but see the order, it's like two lengths.
Yeah, all right. What was it? Masters. Don't want to get out. All right. I'll go back to the linear cladding. On external corners, we should be ordering 90 by 42 for an external corner. And on an internal corner or against a window, we use 42 by 42. And the LOSP, they only come in lengths of 5.4. So even if we only need 2 meters of it, we need to order one length at 5.4. And packing, obviously, need to pack out behind the linear boards as well. Pay the lock-up chippy to install, and obviously pay the painter to paint it as well. So
The PVC starter trims, just check if there's more than 3 meters, because the number
it's in the recipe.
Yeah.
there's one in the recipe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you've got more than 3 meters, you need.
So there's a recipe for linear boards. Now, obviously, if you use the recipe, once you need to work out obviously the linear meters. For this one, we had 2.01 linear meters, which is in the recipe we have one starter trim, which is 3 meters. So we're fine for this job. But if it was over 3 meters in length, you'd need to order another additional starter trim to go with. If you're over 3 meters in length, you need to just make sure you're ordering 2. If you've got more corners or more windows in between, you always need to make sure that you're putting internal corners against windows or external corners. If you're going around, you might have more cladding to the whole facade of a house, not just one little panel and one return back to the garage. Or the front door. Yep.
So under alfresco and sometimes under porch, we have make a timber bulkhead.
Yep.
So, yeah. So how it's gonna work like? Is it like an LVL or?
So, well, for a porch, if it's a UE double story, if you look at page 230, it should be, if it's a double story, it should have the foam underside of the porch.
Yeah, so this one, right?
Yeah, I don't have the detail, but
You'd only need it on a single or on a double that's not under the roof line.
Look like, yeah.
Because if it's a double under the roof line, you pay it in the overhung wall
Okay, yeah.
for the framer.
Frame labor, yeah.
But yeah, if it's a single with an alfresco and you've got
Outside.
to get the beam,
Yeah.
or you've got it outside the
Yeah.
first floor of a double,
Yeah.
then you pay it as a bulkhead
Bulkhead.
for whatever length is between brickwork.
Yeah.
If it's foam. If it's not, then it's just,
on UE it should be foam though.
on UE it'll be foam. If it's an 8 homes, it's just painted cement sheet. So you don't need to build the bulkhead.
So you can because that detail's wrong for the alfresco on this one. Oh, that's correct, but it's not right. Isn't it the details right there? All right. That was all we really had for this training session. Guy, if you guys want to go back through it and come back to me again with any questions, that'll be good.
So yeah, so Di, if you just watch the video again and then shoot through another email, I guess with any further questions like you did with the roof takeoff.
Yep, which I'll get to back to you on that one.
Yeah, which Stephen will get back to you very soon on that one as well. But yeah, other than that, do you have any questions right now?
All good, Harry.
All good? Sounds
Yeah.
good then.
I
All right.
will record this video record today and compile on the idea from team A. If we have any question, I will email to you and it's Steven.
Yep.
Perfect.
I'll download the video and give it to you again like I did for the last one. So and save it. So then we've got a saved copy of that as well.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right, well, thank you for joining us again, and
We'll see you Monday.
we will see you, yes, Monday for another training session.
Next Monday.
Cool. All right, thanks, Di. All right, thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Harry. Thank you, Steve.
See ya. Bye-bye. Bye.
See ya.
Bye. Thanks, Liva.
As we do more and more, Evo's actually building up a database, so we have new starters as well, who we can be like.
Yeah, I
And if
was
you ever
already
get
talking
stuck,
about like sort of like
There's a list that they can be like, oh, there's external lockup if they get stuck in this.
there's a manual. Did I share the